Buckle up. You're about to hear something you won't forget.
1, 2, 3, 4.
If you wish to understand the secrets of the universe, think.
This isn't your typical small talk. This is Lyft Talk.
The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good people to do nothing.
Ever had such a good conversation you didn't want the ride to end?
In terms of energy, frequency,
From the streets of Denver to your ears, welcome to the conversations that only happen in a Lyft.
and vibration.
3 years ago, I quit my comfortable, well-paying job in tech. Although the money was great, I couldn't shake the feeling I was meant to be somewhere else. Eventually, I found myself out of money. Needing quick cash, I started driving for the rideshare app Lyft. I'm Sean McMahon, and you're listening to Lyft Talk.
2, 1.
Oh, man.
I'm good, man. How are you doing? Michael, right?
Yeah.
Right on, dude. You're going to the British Bulldog?
Yeah.
Right on. Is there a game you're watching?
Yeah, so it's the, if you follow soccer, the English Premier League is, opening match today.
Oh, nice.
So they show all the games there and stuff, so yeah, it'll be a good time.
Dude, that's awesome.
How
So
long?
this is like the first of the season.
First of the season, yeah, like
All
season
right.
opener. Very first game.
Interesting, man. Oh, that's cool. You get to celebrate it.
Yeah, it's my off day, so I kind of drag some of my coworkers with me and we're gonna make a day of it.
That's awesome, man.
How late are you gonna work today?
Probably until about 5.
Okay, no
Yeah, I gotta go grab the kids after camp, you know?
bad. Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Is this a side hustle or the main hustle or what?
Yeah, a little bit of both. It's paying the bills right now.
Yeah.
Paying rent anyway. But yeah, the main hustle is I'm launching a podcast.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then
You
I
got
got
a
my
nice
Substack.
voice. You
Oh,
got a
thanks,
good,
man.
You got like a good radio kind of conversational voice.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it comes out by the end of the month here. We're hoping to launch, and it's called actually Lyft Talk. So it's based on this, like random conversations with strangers.
Yeah.
Um,
What's like beyond just random conversations with strangers? Is there like a more specific theme to it, or what's the format going to be like?
yeah, so if this, can get enough of a following, I guess, I'd really like to do like some type of investigative journalism, right? Like there's
Okay.
a lot of things. I'm in pursuit of trying to be a lifelong polymath. And basically that's a fancy way of saying I like studying a lot of different subjects.
Okay.
And so, yeah, there's a couple trips I want to plan and just go investigate some stuff that's super weird. But long story short, a big thread within the podcast would be, learning.
Cool.
Kind of like a rolling classroom, like I'm always surprised how many people know like very specific things based on their childhood or like their current career or how things work. Like I had a guy a couple of days ago who works in like framing,
Oh, yeah.
and he drives these new robots now that like mark all of the framing in new buildings, and it's just it's a brand new tech that's like rolled out in the last year.
So niche.
Yeah. So it's been cool to like kind of unlock what I call all these pockets of like citizenship knowledge. Like everybody around has like all this different knowledge.
I like that.
It's cool to kind of piece it all together.
Everyone's an expert in some way.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, every once in a while we get into, people have confessions and they confess something, or, like a rolling therapy session where they like want
Yeah.
to talk about something,
Gotcha.
Yeah. Those seem to be the 3 themes, but I'm trying not to put categories on it because like when me and my co-founders were talking about categories, we started pitching them to people. It never worked out really well. Like people would be like, I don't want to talk about those 3 things.
Yeah.
Or it would kind of force a conversation, and it seems like organic conversation is where the magic is.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then whenever it launches, or if I wanted to look it up, what's the title going to be?
Lyft Talk.
Lyft Talk.
Yeah.
Spelled with a Y?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, it'll be out on my Substack there, and we got plenty of audio. I think we got mics in the car right now. Hopefully they're working. Happy to put your episode on there if you'd like. But yeah, we're still trying to figure out if, like, you know, with modern technology, if we can use the car as a studio.
Oh, I got you.
But yeah, long term, you know, once I can raise enough money and kind of pay for it to like go to the next step, I'd really like to like travel to like subjects' cities and then drive them around their town, like as kind of a tourist, and talk to them. Like there are certain people, like I have like an ideal guest list that I would start. Yeah, I don't know who I'd start with, but like Graham Hancock, if you know him, is definitely on there.
No, who's Graham Hancock?
Graham Hancock, he wrote a bunch of books, but most people know him as he created the Ancient Apocalypse documentary on Netflix.
Okay.
And he's this guy who like travels all over the world investigating archaeological ruins and stuff. And he has a big theory that is basically just, you know, society and civilization is much older than current archaeology has it dated.
It's like human society?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think the going rate right now is like 6,000 years is how long, you know, and that kind of dates back to Egypt.
Okay.
But there's been, with new advances in technology, there's been a lot of like holes put in all of that. For example, like it's pretty clear, and I don't know the exact evidence, so don't quote me, but it's pretty clear, I guess, that the Great Pyramids of Egypt are much older than 6,000 years. And then, you know, I was reading one of his books today, and there's all these ruins and temples in Mexico, you know, that are incredibly old, and nobody's really sure how they were built, and even the locals say they were built by gods. And so it's like, yeah, there's just so I'd like to interview him, and get his kind of take on what he's working on. I guess he's in the Middle East somewhere right now investigating more stuff. Yeah, who else would I put on there? I think it'd be cool to drive the Pope around, you know, if that's possible. It'd be cool to talk to the first American Pope. I don't know. Then there's I think his name is James. I can't remember his last name, but he wrote a book called Breathe, or Breath, Breathe. And it took him like six to 8 years, I think, to write it. And it's fascinating. One of the core premises of the book is that as humans, we're devolving. Like because we're not chewing as much as we used to, our jaw muscles are atrophying over the ages, and it's giving us breathing problems. And so his whole book is, you know, at one point he pairs up with the Stanford breathing lab and like does this, I think it's like a month-long experiment, you know, at one point only breathing through his mouth for 2 weeks, another point only breathing through his nose for 2 weeks. It's fascinating.
Whoa. So what's the thesis? Like that's happening, like what can we do about it? Should we be chewing food more, or
yeah, that's part of it. And then
smoothies?
What's so fascinating, right, is our bodies are like these super adaptive power machines, right? And so he explores all these like quote unquote alternate therapies of how to get your jaw to expand and then how to get your nostrils to expand. And so one of the experiments I'm running is every night, he did it too, every night he tapes his mouth shut so he can only breathe through his nose. And like the first couple of nights I like freaked out, and when I told my aunt this, she's a retired pediatrician, and she was like, oh my God, aren't you like worried about suffocating? But the thing is like the body is wired to keep itself alive. And so my nose like de-inflames and opens up wide, and I breathe great and sleep better. And so it's so it's highly it's like a bright yellow cover. I highly recommend getting it on tape or picking up the book if you like to read. Yeah, it's awesome. And he talks about like how odd it is that everyone everywhere is going through all these respiratory issues and like nobody's really talking about it. And he, you know, there are some like invasive, I call them invasive, but there are some like surgeries that people are getting to help with their breathing problems, including like removing stuff from the nose. And there's a whole chapter on like all the adverse effects and all the people having that done, how they're worse off now, and wild stuff. But yeah, there were a lot of options provided in what you can do. Who else?
That's a really cool premise. I'm interested about that.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I had like one guest. She was from China. Her husband is a PhD and works at one of the universities in Kansas. But she grew up, she wrote the name of the place down for me. But she grew up, I guess, like on the same block as this really old structure in China. And all of the locals there also say it was built by the gods. and no one locally knows like how to build it. And so anyway, I don't know if you're aware, but China just opened up their borders to like Americans for the first time in like, I don't know, modern history. You can go without a visa for like 5 days if you're in and out of the country within that time. And so that would be on my list too, is I'd want to go to China and start documenting all of these like legends, you know, because when you look at archaeology, especially in the Western society, like we almost know nothing about Asia, and I find it fascinating.
So you're saying they just changed their policies so that you can go without a visa?
Yeah, so Americans, certain like countries, I think it's like most of the Nordic countries, a lot of Europe, and then the United States is included in there. And we can fly into Japan, and then from Japan you can get into China without needing a visa as long as you're in and out within 5 days.
Interesting.
Yeah, super cool. Yeah, I've always wanted to go to Shanghai, and you know, we hear a lot about how polluted it is and how terrible it is, but and talking with her, she was like, it was when I was growing up, but then she went on and was like, but you know, people, just like in America, like people see something they don't like and then they quickly try to fix it. And she's like, in the last 10 years since I've gone back and visited my family, like they're making huge strides in cleaning up pollution and really getting it clean over there. So I'd like to go see China's progress.
Yeah.
Plus, I think it'd be cool to be in a city with just like, that supports almost 1 billion people. I think that'd be something to see, you know? I don't know if you've seen it on like TikTok, the floating sidewalks and stuff. I'd want to shoot video of like all of that and be like, follow me in my trip to China, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be the premise, is kind of travel and drive people. There's a doctor out of the UK who is all into herbology and is very convinced like you don't need almost any pharmaceutical drugs. And I'd like to interview him, drive him around. I think that'd be cool. Yeah. Yeah, but it'd be like the pursuit of knowledge, and basically I just want to follow. It'd be really cool if I could get paid to just follow my curiosity.
And is it just gonna be audio, or are you gonna do some episodes that are gonna be video as well?
Initially, we're just doing audio. We tried to do video and it ate up all of my devices. So we don't have the tech right now to do video, but eventually we'd get into video.
What, all your devices?
It ate up the battery. Like it was just unsustainable to shoot all day with video. And so yeah, I mean, maybe that'll be one of the first investments after I raise a little bit of money, is getting some cameras and setting it up. Because I've thought a lot about it, and I think I'd want to do it so like you could see me, we could see you, and then maybe we could see what's going around the car to kind of provide all of that.
Sure.
But you know, I'm just getting into like editing, and starting with audio tracks only is much easier than getting into also video.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I spent like a week shooting video initially, and it was just painstaking for me between moving those huge, like the file sizes are massive, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, moving that all around, figuring out how to edit it. I just don't have the hardware right now to support all that. But yeah, one day the goal will be shoot video. Baby steps.
Yeah. Definitely, if you're doing the traveling thing, I think that's super compelling for like the audience to see.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
See all the, the adventure part of it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I have young kids too, and so I'd like to take them with me on like some of these adventures and be like, this is what it's like visiting China with a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old. You know, like I think that'd be a blast. I know most people are like, you tell most parents that and they're like, oh my God, why would you want to do that? But it's like, I don't know, I think it would just be fucking fun. It just sounds awesome.
It's pretty good for kids to see something different too.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, man, what's your dream? What do you want to do one day?
I don't know. I don't have I kind of want to just keep doing what I'm doing.
What are you doing?
And hopefully, well, like in life generally, I want to, enjoy my time, make good connections and friends.
Yeah.
Do a job that I'm fulfilled by, and I feel like, I'm not rolling in cash, but I work as a paramedic. I really like doing that.
Man, that's awesome.
And it's a fun job. It's a cool skill set, and I got friends that I like. So I would hope to think that in some way I'm kind of living my dream, but hopefully it'll just be an improvement about what I'm doing now.
Man,
I don't have
that,
any
dude.
I would like to save up generally just so I can travel more. I've always wanted to go to Uruguay, So
Really?
I really want to go check that out. Yeah.
I had 2 guys from Uruguay like just last week, and it sounds awesome.
Yeah, I've heard
Hope you can
the
go.
people are really nice, and I've heard incredible things about the capital, Montevideo.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of one thing. What's like another dream project? I don't know.
That's awesome.
But that's it, man. Just keeping it simple. Make time for some hobbies and stuff along the way.
Dude, I love that, man.
Yeah.
You know, I would say I think you got something figured out, because I talk to, you know, a lot of people, regardless of what industry they're in, and if they're not doing anything that helps people, that's like one of the number one things everybody says is, I just want to help people.
Oh,
That sounds
sure.
like your job is all about that, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like people have an imagination about what the job is. That can be like pretty different from what we experience, and it can be a little bit like we see a lot of awesome things and we get to help people. We also see a lot of like depressing, horrific things too.
Sure. Yeah, if you don't mind me asking, like, how do you deal with that? Like, you know, like, do you meditate a lot or go to therapy, or like, what's your process? You know what I mean?
I definitely meditate. I probably should go to therapy. I feel like I'm at a point now where I don't really get bothered by stuff that I see.
Really?
Yeah, not really, dude. Like, even if it's really, really bad, I don't really get bugged by it. It's more like if other humans around me are getting super emotional, or if I make a mistake and like I haven't made like critical mistakes, but like the little mistakes, it's easy to get down on yourself about. So that's kind of,
I can imagine, yeah.
the more mentally difficult part of the job is try not to get too down on yourself when you make mistakes. But yeah, if I see something crazy, it's not good. It's probably not great to be numb to that, but it's mostly like if something is going on that's crazy, or someone's super injured or super sick, and then a family member or a loved one is very emotional about it.
Yeah.
That gets to me more than the thing itself. If that makes
Sure.
sense.
Dude, I totally understand that. I get that.
Yeah.
You know, I dated, you are not alone in that. I think there's something to be said about being able to do that. I will say in the backdrop, I have this theory that like you guys, nurses, like there are certain professions, I think with the current state of society, that like you all should only do for so long. I think cops are in that same boat. It's
Sure.
I think it's too much to require. I think we're asking too much of you asking, how do I say this?
Asking too much.
Asking too much for you to do it for 30 plus years. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. that's
But
weird.
no, I dated a nurse for a while, and she felt the same thing. She'd like have people die on her, and she'd be like, "Well, you know, it's a normal Tuesday." It was just like, it's not a normal Tuesday when your patients died. Like, what are you talking about?
It's yeah. I think it's for that kind of profession. If it's ER, ICU, or
Yeah.
ambulance, like it is a little bit far in the extreme. But I will say, after getting into this line of work, I feel like
Sure.
the general public is maybe too disconnected from mortality and death.
Say more. What do you mean?
I like people. I think we maybe culturally and as a society, we try to shield people from seeing it, from thinking about it, and dealing with it.
Interesting.
So you could say, yeah, Mike, you've seen all this stuff that's not healthy for your mind. And I could say, you're probably right. There's probably some negative aspects about the things that I've seen. And then I could turn around and say, you haven't seen or come face to face with human mortality enough in your life. And I think there's benefits to coming face to face with it, if that makes sense.
Oh, it does, dude. That's a
yeah.
profound thought. I love that. Oh,
So and not
Go
to
ahead.
separate people or say one's better than the other, or I'm better than people.
no,
because they
nobody's
do this
judging
thing.
you, man.
But it's I think that we're too guarded from that. There's too much of a separation.
We're almost like, what I'm hearing is like we're almost delusional
In a way, yeah.
about how fragile we actually are.
True, yeah, fragility, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, great talking with you, man.
Yeah, dude. I I hope all the best for you. And
Hey,
the
likewise, man.
podcast works out.
Yeah, hopefully
gonna
I'll get
keep
to
an
drive
eye
you
out.
after that Uruguay trip,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. All right, Sean. Take it easy, man. Drive safe today.
Yeah, you too, Michael. Thanks, man. Enjoy that game.
That's it for today's ride. Huge thanks to the passengers who let me share their stories. The show wouldn't exist without you. If you enjoyed listening in, come join me over on my Substack, where you can support the podcast and be part of the community. Thanks for riding along. I'll see you next time.
Goodbye.